Hey guys, this message is for those of you who didn't know, just like I didn't. And those who did know and didn't share it because they thought holding that information would cause your demise. I don't know. Your demise. Um, and it's not, because one thing we do when we learn a thing, or what we should do for one another, it is our um what is the word? Humble service. It is our most ethical service. It is our most richest service. Is to share something about this life, this journey that can help someone else along the way. Right? We're traversing in waters that we don't know anything about. And so as you're learning, you should also deposit that wisdom onto the generations beneath you so they can be able to, you know, see certain things, understand certain things, overstand certain things. Because knowing it is only half the battle. The other half of that is putting in the action, putting in the footwork, putting in the boundaries and the reclaiming the voice and getting to know who you are. That's the other side of the battle. Okay. You get the information. Now I know. And this is what I'm going to do going forward to make sure that I protect myself from these same situations so they're not completing, um, repeating in our lives. Someone is completing theirs. That's why that came out. Somebody is completing their journey, their cycle. This whole cycle is completing for you. Okay. You're already in the process and you needed this confirmation. It is completing for you. All right. So you need to share the wisdom that you gain in this um, game called life. We're all the same. We're all here from different locations. We are all in a unfamiliar place, away from home. But home is inside of us. But it's truly away from our home. You know, where we are loved and cared for and nourished. Okay. So anyhow, today I realized that there's no way, there's no way that I was going to be blessed the way I know that I'm going to be blessed if I continued in those cycles, those very cycles I mentioned. It's like, you know, without a shadow of a doubt, this blessing is coming to you. You can feel it, but you can't. You feel like it's pushing away from you, or it's right there and you can't touch it, type of thing. Because it doesn't feel like it's pushing away. It actually feels like it's coming closer. But but it won't. It doesn't seem to, meet your hand, meet your experience, because there's a cycle that's still lingering. There's a door still open. There's a lesson not learned. Right? There's something that's still needing to be realized. Right? Because until you realize it, you're just going to fall for the same trap the next time, the same trick, the same, when the challenge comes, right? Because the challenge could just be meeting another person. And then you meet that person and you say yes, only because you didn't learn the lesson. You didn't learn, you didn't go through the application after you learned the information, right? Now that you know, now you take that information and you apply it and it becomes wisdom. Okay. So, um, but I couldn't. There was no way that I was going to cross over this threshold as long as I continued to attract to myself the mirror, trying to show me what I am not seeing, right? It's the mirror. Every time you look in the mirror, it doesn't necessarily mean it's mirroring your exact image physically. It's showing you through its actions, its words, it's the way it respects you or not, the way it expresses love authentically, love that you feel in your heart, not just in the pit of your stomach because you got the, no, you might have a dysregulated root chakra and sacral. Okay. So, um, literally the moment I tapped into this, I saw it play out in the relationships that I have experienced. And then when I finally got it, I saw where I walked away from someone and I didn't look back, and there was no way after everything that I've learned, right? Everything that I now know, that I was going to continue dealing with them. That was just the first step, just saying, oh, I'm not dealing with them no more. Like, But the next step after that is, how will I not fall for the same things? How will I not fall for the same tactics? How will I protect myself from the things that my heart thought it wanted, right? My heart thought it wanted because my ego was running the show. Okay? So now everything that I did after that, I realized is the reason why I'm stepping through. And that is learning who I am, who I truly am. So that way I'll know how I should be treated because I know who I am. And if you don't treat me like who I know I am, then you are not a person that's supposed to be in my life. You might not know right away, but you'll know before you make the decision that you would have made before, like stayed in a marriage that you're not really married in for 21 years or more or less. It could be a marriage, it could be a contract, it could be a friendship, it could be a situationship, it could be anything. But it's a choice that you've been making based off of your ego and what your heart thought it loved. Okay. So now you know who you are, and no one can tell you different. And then you build up your worth, your self worth, what you believe your value is, what you know. You start to learn what is the cost that I'm willing to absorb for my peace, for my patience, for my love. What does it cost for your time, for your mind? What does it cost for your heart? You have to decide that. So you know who you are. You know how you're supposed to be treated. You know what your value is, and therefore you won't take anything that devalues you. Anything that requires you to settle, that's a no. Or yes, if you choose, but you understand that you're just going to repeat the cycle. But we're not there. We're actually, now I'm speaking to those of us who are understanding, overstanding, sorry. Because now we're in this thing. So those who are just starting out, the quicker you learn the lesson, the quicker you get on up out of that. I've given you I've given you the steps. You just have to do it the way what feels right in your body. Right? Because you can only go as far as you believe anyway. If you don't believe you can get past a thing, then you're just gonna you'll try it and it'll stop because you don't believe it yet. So you gotta believe that you deserve so much more. You gotta believe that you have an inheritance that you have not received yet. You gotta believe that. That's waiting for you. You gotta believe it. It's been there waiting for you, but you've been held back from it because of, you know, all the things that your heart loved, that your ego was dictating. So now we just hold the mark and we don't give in to the first challenge that meets our doorstep because we've been by ourselves for so long, because we've been walking this path alone, but not really alone. Those who know, but not with another human being. You've been that one loving you. You've been that one caring for you and nurturing you. You know why? Because you know what it will take to keep you in a state of peace. You know what it will take, what the calmness should feel like, what the touch should feel like, what the sound should feel like, what you're laying your eyes on should feel like. You should know what hearing it feels like, because you've trained yourself to all of those senses in your own company. All right. So I didn't know it was going there, but okay. I love it. I love it. But I love getting realizations because it's like it just confirms all the work that I've done and why now I know why I was doing it. And that makes me so happy. When I'm happy, then I want to share why I'm happy. Okay. So there you go. There you go. For those who didn't know, those who have been seeking, and those who decided to hoard the truth. Bless us all. Goodbye.